when I'm consistently putting in about 15 hours per week into my UGC business, I'm making at least $6,000 a month on the side, which is pretty freaking cool. And I've had students who have full-time jobs. I've had students who have multiple kids and a family, students who are traveling full-time, you name it. Like, you can make UGC work for your situation. Hello. I am Maddie Garrett. I am your UGC coach, and in today's episode, we are going to be talking about what the heck is UGC, how are people using UGC to get paid to travel, and how can you easily get started as a UGC creator with zero experience. So let's dive right into this. So first and foremost, let's dive into the most important topic here, which is the question, what is UGC? So UGC stands for user-generated content, and it is a growing form of advertising and marketing that brands are using on their social media platforms and in their paid ads. And it's basically where everyday people like me, like you, create video reviews, product how-tos, testimonials, unboxings, things like that with their products to use on their social media. So these videos are a lot more natural and organic than in-house brand content or influencer marketing. So these are not super cinematic, fancy videos where they're hiring these like crazy videographers to shoot commercials for them. These are a lot lower quality. Not to say that UGC is low quality, but I don't want you to think that you need to have a fancy camera for this. This is very much videos that are shot on your phone camera. They are low production, low editing required, and they're meant to feel like somebody set up their camera and was like, let me talk about this product, or let me introduce you to this thing that you need. And so UGC videos are very natural feeling. They are a lot more, I guess, down to earth than traditional marketing, because it's actually a user of that product explaining what the product is, why they love it, and why the person needs it. So in short, UGC is content aimed to sell a product in a very genuine and authentic way by everyday users of the product. And the difference between UGC and influencer marketing, because they are similar in the sense that it's people receiving the product and then filming a video to review the product, we are not posting the videos, okay? You do not need an audience. You do not need followers to be a UGC creator. So influencers, they receive a product, they film a review, they post it to their channel and share it with their audience. We're not doing that. As UGC creators, the brand is using that content on their own social media platforms and in their own ads. Okay, so UGC does not need to be posted to your own account. Think of it as you're filming a commercial for the brand. Like, just think of it that way. You're basically hired for marketing services for that brand, but it's not influencer marketing. You're not posting any of this content. I guarantee you've seen a ton of UGC ads. Like, they are everywhere now. If you are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, like, there are UGC ads being run constantly, like billions of dollars in ad revenue going towards UGC every year on these platforms. So next time you see an ad pop up, watch it through and think to yourself, was this something that was filmed by the brand? Like, was this the marketing team that did the video? Is this an influencer that they partnered with? Or is this a UGC creator? Is this an everyday person who is filming an ad for this product popping up on my feed? Chances are it's probably a UGC creator. And that's pretty identifiable by it's probably shot on a phone, so it's not super cinematic quality. And you're not going to recognize the person. Like, they're not going to be someone famous. It's not a big influencer. It's kind of just an everyday person that you do not know. And that is a UGC ad. And same goes for social media. So sometimes UGC is used in ads, so like paid advertising, like pops up on your feed. Other times it's just used as organic social media content. So brands will hire out creators to do videos for their social media. So trends, unboxings, aesthetic videos, testimonials, things like that are just very authentic, genuine kind of videos that they're going to post on their social media organically. So it's not used as an ad in like the sense of having ads and behind it, but it's their social media content. And this is super useful for the brand because they then get a huge stream of content for their social media, which obviously social media marketing is one of the major ways that brands advertise these days organically. So UGC is huge for social media content these days. So why do brands want UGC as opposed to in-house content or influencer marketing? Let's break that down. So UGC literally has a higher return on investment for brands than other forms of marketing. Like it is proven in the statistics, in the money, that they are making more money back on UGC ads than all the other types of marketing that they're doing. Like it's actually crazy. And it's because it's so authentic. It's so real. And it's really showing everyday people using their product. And it doesn't feel fake. It doesn't feel as like staged or scripted. And think of it this way. If someone comes to you and says, you should buy this thing, and you say, why should I buy it? And you're the creator of that product and you tell them like all the reasons, they're still going to think, oh, well, I'm being sold to. And like this person's telling me to buy it because they're going to make money from me. Whereas if you have your friend down the street come to you and say, oh my God, I've been using this product. I'm obsessed with it. Like you need it. You're going to trust them so much more than the owner of the company telling you to buy a product, right? It's the same deal. So UGC ads feel like you're talking to a friend over FaceTime, right? Like they're telling you why they love this product, why you should buy this product. That is why UGC ads perform so well, because they're essentially proof. They're social proof that this product is good and that it shows you how it's used in everyday life, in everyday scenarios. And it's just such a different feel from like a commercial, let's say, that's shot in a studio, or content that's created by the whole brand's marketing team or a hired influencer. It's just way more relatable to people. And so UGC just literally has higher ROI for brands in social media and ad content. UGC is undoubtedly the future of marketing, and it just makes a better shopping experience for everybody. It's better for the brand because they're making more money. It is better for the consumer because they're actually seeing the product in use and understanding the benefits. And it's great for us as UGC creators because it opens up a new job market and job opportunities, and we can make a shit ton of money, which is amazing. All right. So how are UGC creators leveraging UGC to pay for their travels? First and foremost, the most kind of obvious one is through collaborations with hotels and Airbnbs. I feel like when people think of travel UGC, that's what they think. They think, oh, partnering with like stays. So this is part of it. So I'll touch on this a little bit. Basically, this means, you're going to go to a hotel or an Airbnb and you are going to shoot content at that stay. So you're going to highlight the amenities, you're going to show the surrounding town, you're going to, show how great the hotel room is, and you're going to create some either organic social media content or ad content for that stay for them to use on their marketing channels. And this is great. Sometimes you get a completely free vacation out of this. Sometimes you get paid to stay at these places. And you're already there. You're already going to be taking that content to post on your Instagram stories anyway. So you might as well pull up and use it to sign to big brands and get paid for it. And again, this isn't just for influencers. We're going to post this to their luxury travel account. This is for everyday people because hotels just need a surplus of content for their social media. And so many Airbnbs these days have social media. That's how they get bookings and how they promote themselves. So hotels Airbnbs, lodges, you name it, like they need content. Next, and this one's a little bit less heard of, I think, but partnering with tourism boards and tour companies. So most cities, states, countries have what is called a tourism board, and this board is tasked with getting people to want to come visit their destination. So a lot of these tourism boards have budget for marketing and advertising to literally advertise their city or state or country to the rest of the world. And so like you'll see commercials pop up on your TV for like visit California. It like shows all the aesthetics of California. And like these literal destinations have budgets for creators because they need content and they need these ads to get people to want to come to their location. So you can literally be working with tourism boards, and it's so cool. Like you basically just shoot content of that destination, the scenery, what there is to do, good places to eat, hotels in the area, and then the tourism board uses this content for their marketing. And on that same note, tour companies, like, you know, a local ATV company that does guided tours, or a museum, or even like local restaurants and brick and mortar stores. If they have social media or they're running ads, they can be benefiting from UGC, and you can be working with them. And the third way that you can be making money through your travels or just everyday life is through product UGC. So let's say I'm actually getting is my current example. So I'm going on a trip to Mexico in a month. I'm going to a little beach town, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can just cover the costs of this trip by bringing along like 2 products and doing some content for them. So what I've been doing is just pitching like swimsuit brands, sunscreen companies, waterproof jewelry, fashion brands, luggage brands. You can be pitching these companies and say, hey, I'm a UGC creator. I'm going on this trip to this destination, and here are the ideas I have with the content that I could shoot for you at that location. And brands eat this up because they don't have to send a whole marketing team, a whole film crew to go get content at this location. You're just like, I'm going to be in this amazing destination. Send me your product and I'll get some videos for you. Like, what? Obviously, the brand is like, here, take my money. And that's what I love about kind of incorporating product UGC with travel, is it really makes you stand out from other UGC creators who are just pitching like, oh, like I live in Denver. And I could pitch a swimsuit company and be like, you know, I could shoot product in my house or like at my pool, and that's fine. But like utilizing your travels to pitch a very specific destination and like vibe and idea and actual content ideas that you have is going to set you apart from other UGC creators so much. Like if you have something very specific to pitch them and it's a cool destination, like boom, let's go. Love it. And then you could also just work with products in your everyday life and just do UGC content at home. And then you can use that income that you make from UGC on the side or full time. And then you can use that money to fund your travels. And I want to put this little tip in here too. I don't like to use every single trip as a content opportunity because I get burnt out if I do that. And so that's why sometimes I like to do UGC just at home, because then I can just use that money to fund my travels, and then I don't have to work while I'm on vacation. And it's not like UGC is super hard work to like film this content when you're out on a trip anyway. But sometimes it's nice to just put your phone away on a trip and not have to deal with that. And I think some people do have that hesitation with getting into it of like, I just don't want to take my, you know, phone on every hike with me or every trip or whatever. And it's like, I totally did that and we don't have to. And that's why as outdoor and travel creators, I don't recommend that you only work with outdoor and travel brands. Like, widen your niche so that you can work with pretty much any type of brand. And so you can work with brands at home, you can work with brands while you're traveling, and you can just make it work for your lifestyle, your current lifestyle, and you can be flexible with that. My personal favorite UGC travel experience was when I went to Alaska and I had a paid partnership with a tourism board in Alaska, and I brought along a product that I had a UGC deal for. And so between the two of those UGC contracts, I made over $5,000, and I got to travel to Alaska. Like, it paid for my trip and more. And that was just one of the coolest experiences for me. And that was only like, I want to say like 8 months into my UGC journey, which it just felt like the coolest thing ever. So what do you need to do to become a UGC creator, and would this work for you? Let's talk about that. So, yeah. I really do think it can work for almost anybody, regardless of your demographic, regardless of your size, regardless of your age. That's the great thing about UGC. Brands want relatable people. Brands want people who look like the people who buy their products. So if there are other people in the world who are your demographic, who are your size, who are your age, who are your gender, then guess what? You can be a UGC creator. Because remember, UGC is meant to be relatable. And they want humans who look like real humans and not like influencers or models. So what do you need to get started with UGC? There are really only a few things that you need. First and foremost, you need a phone with a camera. You need a phone that can shoot at least 1080p and 30 frames per second. Look it up, see if your phone has those settings. If it's a smartphone, it probably does. Second thing you're gonna need is a tripod. You can get one online for like $20. Third, and this one's gonna take the most time out of the things that you need to get started, but it's a portfolio. You're gonna need proof that you can shoot these kinds of videos. So you can send your portfolio to brand and say, hey, look, I know what I'm doing. These are the kinds of videos that I can film. You're going to want to have variety on your portfolio, showcase what you can do. But a portfolio, super, super, super important before you start getting paid UGC deals. And then you're going to need a great pitch. So you're going to have to be reaching out to brands to land UGC deals, and you need to understand what brands are looking for in a pitch, what's going to convince them to buy from you, and you also need to understand the value of your content and why brands should work with you. So, that's really the foundation of any business, is like understanding your value and your worth and being able to communicate it to brands. And last, and honestly most important, is persistence. UGC isn't a get-rich-quick kind of thing. And it's going to take you a couple months to really build the foundations of your UGC business, to build up your content skills, and to start landing those higher paying 4-figure deals where you're getting paid, $5,000 to travel to Alaska. I always say UGC is a long game. The longer you do it, the easier it becomes in literally every aspect, and the more money that you will make. It costs me, maybe like $80 a month to run my UGC business in terms of like kind of softwares I use and platforms I need and like storage for my content. And that's literally one of the cheapest businesses you can run. Seriously, like you do not need to spend a lot of money to get into UGC or to sustain it as a business, which I think makes it one of the coolest opportunities of our generation, honestly, to kind of start your own business and try something that will allow you to travel a lot more, because UGC allows location independence. You don't have to be in one specific place to do UGC. And I think that's what's really, really cool about it. And also you can do UGC from anywhere. Like I've had students from the US, from Canada, from the UK, Norway, Australia, Costa Rica, like Africa, you name it. Like I have had students from all over who are making UGC work for them. So yeah, it's actually crazy. And you don't need to be amazing in front of the camera or be an amazing editor or videographer to get into UGC. Those skills are going to come with time as you practice shooting content, as you practice talking to the camera, and those skills are just going to build over time. And you never really have to be like crazy videographer or editor to be a UGC creator. Like, you just need to know the basic skills and just commit yourself to learning it for a month and you'll get there, I promise. And again, you don't need a ton of followers. You're not posting any of his content. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's such a win for me. Because like when I started out my content journey, I just thought I wanted to be an influencer, but I got super burnt out from that and realized that wasn't really the path for me. And UGC was the great bridge between loving content and loving the creativity behind it, but not wanting to be a full-time influencer. And so yeah, you do not need an audience to do UGC. You also don't need a ton of time to start your UGC business. I recommend spending about 10 hours per week to build your UGC business. You could do it in as little as 5 to 8 hours a week to build those foundations. And I've always done UGC part-time. Like, I've never really done UGC more than like 25 hours per week. And when I'm consistently putting in about 15 hours per week into my UGC business, I'm making at least $6,000 a month on the side, which is pretty freaking cool. And I've had students who have full-time jobs. I've had students who have multiple kids and a family, students who are traveling full-time, you name it. Like, you can make UGC work for your situation. If UGC sounds like something you are interested in to help fund your travels, check out my other episode where I talk about how to get into UGC. I break down my exact journey with how I went from a beginner and then within 4 months was consistently making $5,000 a month with UGC. And if you learned something new in this episode, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below, because I'm going to continue to share UGC education every single week on my YouTube channel, and I hope to see you here.